Hey guys, welcome back to another Q&A video. As usual, we've got a bunch of your questions from the comments and I'm going to go through them and answer all of them. Okay, comment number 1. Hi, I just wanted to say this video gave me a lot of motivation to keep trying to lucid dream, but I also have a question. Do I need to have more than one of these signs to be close to having a lucid dream? So this was on my 5 signs that you're close to having a lucid dream video. Now the signs that I talked about in this video are things that you commonly see with people trying to lucid dream when they're close to having a lucid dream, but that doesn't mean that if you don't have these signs you're not close to lucid dreaming. But generally if you have any of these, there's a good chance that you're on the right track and you're going to have a lucid dream soon. Question number 2. So this is on my video, Why Can't I Lucid Dream? 4 reasons that you're not lucid dreaming. And at one point in that video, I believe I talked about the fact that certain medications can interfere with REM. So they asked, what medication? Now I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to be able to give a comprehensive list here, but I know that for example, SSRI antidepressants can interfere with REM. The related SNRI antidepressants can interfere with REM. Anxiety medicine like benzodiazepines, or sleeping medication like Ambien, cannabinoids, not including CBD. There's quite a lot of things out there that can impair the amount of REM that you experience. Now what I'll say here is if you're prescribed something that I've just mentioned, or you're prescribed something else that interferes with your REM, generally there's a good reason that you're prescribed that, and that reason outweighs the fact that it might be more difficult for you to lucid dream, so I don't think that you should be changing anything there. Obviously you can speak to your doctor about this, and if you're not experiencing many dreams or recalling many dreams, you can ask if there are alternatives that might work better in that respect. But generally what you're going to want to do is just realise that it's going to be a bit more difficult for you to lucid dream initially, but you will still be able to get there with some work. Now on the other hand, if you're taking anything that you don't need to be taking, then you have to ask yourself the question whether it's worth it if it's going to be interfering with your ability to lucid dream and to recall your dreams each night. And obviously that's going to be an individual decision that I can't make for you. Just be aware that yes, impaired REM means impaired ability to lucid dream. Question number 3, Huperzine-A versus Choline. So this is in regards to lucid dreaming supplements and which is better. I'll just say Huperzine-A. The goal of both is the same thing, increase acetylcholine levels in the brain, which will increase time spent in REM, but generally acetylcholinesterase inhibitors do a better job of that than just choline. That said, choline does have an advantage in that it's easy to get from food. This is actually something that I might make a video on soon about how you can increase your time spent in REM through things like diet. But stuff like meat and eggs can have a lot of choline in them, and if you're plant-based you can go for things like lentils or chickpeas, so you can often get a lot of the benefits without necessarily having to take an additional supplement. Question number 4, this is on my video, 1 easy method to wake up without an alarm, where I basically talk about how you can just use intention to wake yourself up without an alarm. And they asked, this doesn't work for me, I love sleeping, so now what? Well, while it's a great method, it doesn't always work for everyone, and I do recommend if you have something important that you want to wake up for, to have a backup alarm even if you try this, just in case. But yeah, if it doesn't work for you, then regular alarms tend to be the way to go. As far as loving sleeping and having trouble getting out of bed though, there's lots of strategies for that, and I believe I've made at least one video on the subject before, but one good thing that you can do is literally set your alarm at the other side of the room so you have to get up out of bed to get it. But also just realise that it's a habit. If you make the habit of laying in bed and taking ages to get out of bed every morning, that's going to be the norm and it's going to be really difficult to break from that. But if you force yourself for the next week to always get out of bed straight away as soon as you wake up, and you keep up that habit for longer, it's going to get easier and easier until it's just second nature to just rise out of bed the second that you wake up. Okay, question number 5. I'm confused. What's the difference between lucid dreaming and regular dreaming? I could always control what I dream about, so what makes lucid dreaming different? Okay, so this is something that a lot of people get confused about and that we've talked about a few times before, but basically lucid dreaming just means being aware of the fact that you're dreaming in a dream. That can include control, and it usually does, but you can be lucid and not have control, and you can also have control over your dreams but not be lucid. In fact, while I didn't originally have this belief, the more and more that I've been lucid dreaming over the years and paying attention to both my lucid and my regular dreams, I've started to think that actually we do have control over our dreams normally. It's just that it doesn't matter. We are so much on autopilot, we are so much just going through the motions that control doesn't really manifest itself anyway. And that's why getting lucid feels like we suddenly have control over our dreams. It's not that the control wasn't there before, it's just that we need that realization that, hey, this is a dream, stop what I'm doing, stop being on autopilot, to usually get us to actually start controlling the dream rather than just going through the motions. I'm not sure how well I explained that, but hopefully that makes sense. Okay, question number 6. What if my sleep schedule is flipped? I work overnight from 10 PM and get home by 7 AM. Can I still enter REM when the sun is up? Yeah, short answer, yeah, you can. Listen, if you couldn't, this channel probably would not exist, because I have a chronic history of my sleep being all over the place. Sometimes I'm awake at night, sometimes I'm awake during the day. My sleep tends to gradually progress around the clock. Either I'll run into that whole revenge bedtime procrastination thing before bed, where it's like, I feel like I need to relax for a bit longer, or I feel like I haven't got something done and I'll stay up an extra hour. Or I'll go to sleep at a normal time, but then I'll sleep an hour longer than I intended. And so often that results in me being up an hour later the next day, and then an hour later the next day, and so on, and just sort of slowly working my way around the clock. And while I have noticed that in the past, when I've been stuck to a fixed schedule, that the timing of my REM periods felt a bit more consistent, I actually don't feel like the extra melatonin that you get at night has that much of a dramatic impact on your ability to recall your dreams and have lucid dreams and so on. Not as much as you would expect it to anyway. I think it tends more to impact my overall sleep quality. If I sleep at night, I tend to have better quality sleep than if I sleep during the day. So yeah, if you're a night shift worker or just a general night owl, or you just have weird messed up sleep like I do, you can lucid dream, don't worry about it. Okay, question number 7. I have a quick question. Is it called wake initiated or wake induced lucid dreaming? Because some people, and even ChatGPT, sometimes calls it wake initiated. Now I believe it was Stephen LaBerge that first used the term, and I believe he used wake initiated. But I think at some point, I'm not sure who started it, someone started saying wake induced, and after that a lot of other people picked that up, and that's sort of the default one that I say most of the time. I think it's fine to use either since they mean the same thing and they use the same abbreviation anyway. Okay, next question. I'm one of those that don't remember even having dreams, but does it even matter? Is it just to sate my curiosity, or is there another benefit? So I think there's countless benefits to dreaming and recalling those dreams. I really do believe that it's one of the quickest ways to notice underlying trends that are going on in your subconscious before they rise to the surface to your conscious mind. I've lost count the amount of times where I will be having recurring dreams on a particular subject, and then it suddenly dawned on me at some future point during dream analysis that, that's because of this going on. But that thing that was going on, I wasn't even remotely consciously aware of that until much later. And so by being able to look at my dreams and being able to analyse them and so on, I can get some information about myself that may be useful to my own personal development. Not to mention that dreams can be lots of fun. And of course, when it comes to lucid dreaming, I've done several videos already talking about the various benefits there. Question number 9. Is it true people who lucid dream are the smartest, always have deep thoughts and good observers, that even they dreaming, they know it? Yeah, definitely. We're definitely the smartest. No, I don't necessarily think that lucid dreaming has anything to do with intelligence or anything like that. I think it really boils down to your ability to be present. Because ultimately, the way I see dreams, non-lucid dreams are just dreams where you are going about things on autopilot. The same way that most of us do for a large portion of our daily lives without often even realising it. I don't necessarily think deep thought is linked to lucid dreaming in that sense. I think deep thoughts might come out of lucid dreaming as you have those lucid dreams and you learn lots of interesting things from them. But I actually think in a way, those of us with a tendency to overthink, with anxieties and so on, can have trouble being present both in waking life and in their dreams. That's actually one of the reasons why I think meditation is such a powerful lucid dreaming technique, because I think some people have so much trouble getting present that some of the things that you do in regular techniques just don't work as well for them. But start to practice something like daily meditation or like all-day awareness, and suddenly you just see this dramatic uptick in lucid dreams, both from those methods and from any other methods that you're performing as well. Though given that we have a good amount of research that says that things like meditation are good for your memory, good for your cognitive abilities in general, then I think that it's likely that through lucid dreaming practices, in the same way that you benefit from meditation, you will probably benefit in your cognitive abilities from lucid dreaming as well. Question number 10. How do I know what time of night should I wake up to try wild? I can't point where my REM sleep is. Is sleep by 9:30 PM, then wake up at 7:30 AM. So if you go to sleep at 9:30 PM, then I would recommend trying to have an alarm to wake you up around 3:30 AM, 6 hours after you go to sleep. Bear in mind though that you should be going by how long you sleep, not how long you're in bed. So if you feel like it takes you say 20 minutes to fall asleep, then try to set an alarm for around 3:50. It's better to ever so slightly overshoot than undershoot and not land in the REM period. That said, REM periods do vary from individual to individual, so for some people it's not going to be 6 hours, for some people it might be 5.5 or 5. And they also fluctuate from day to day. Variables such as how much sleep debt you've accumulated and so on can affect when your REM periods occur and how long they are. I actually just released a recent shorts video talking about some of the ways that you can spot that you're in REM, but one really good telling sign that you're in REM is if you just woke up from a dream. Another one is if when you start relaxing, trying to go back to sleep, you quickly start to experience hypnagogic imagery. Okay, final question of the video. If you set your alarm 6 or 5 hours after falling asleep, can you then have sleep paralysis instead of a lucid dream? Some people told me yes. Well, so sleep paralysis can occur to you anytime when you're in REM, so you could have sleep paralysis on one of those nights. But I presume what you're asking is setting an alarm going to increase the chances that you experience sleep paralysis over a normal night? Now, sleep paralysis is a sort of partial awakening, so generally when an alarm goes off, you're not going to have that. You're going to have an abrupt and full awakening, so you shouldn't be entering sleep paralysis from your alarm. If anything, it's much more likely that you would enter sleep paralysis during the subsequent return to sleep. But unless you're someone that observes that normally, where you find that if you wake up in the middle of the night and try to go back to sleep, you enter into sleep paralysis, then I wouldn't say that your risk of this happening is any more than experiencing sleep paralysis on any normal given night. So basically, TLDR answer, no, I don't think you're any more likely to have sleep paralysis waking yourself up to lucid dream. Anyway, that's been all for the questions this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Also, just a quick heads up, if you are an owner of the Lucid Dream book, and you haven't recently checked the email that you used when you purchased the book, do go and check that, as last week I released a small update for the book, adding some new content in. Of course, that content is free for everyone who has the book. That's one of the reasons why I made it an ebook in the first place, so that I could push out updates for free to people who have the book. So yeah, check your email. There should be an email from me with a link to the new PDF version and a new EPUB version with the added content. Now, if you haven't yet got your hands on the book, check out the link in the top right hand corner or go to gum.co/theluciddreambook and use the code LUCID at checkout to get 15% off. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and enable all notifications so you can stay up to date when my new videos come out. And if you want to keep watching, check out one of those videos on screen, go watch that, and I'll see you there soon. Take care and have some awesome lucid dreams.